So this should be all the tools we need for today. Some needle nose pliers, flathead screwdriver, Scotch Locks, and the Scotch Locks pliers. It's not totally necessary, but as you can see, it has a nice even crimp. That way you get the best possible connection. And some scissors just to cut back some of the fiberglass on the wiring harness jacket. All right, get started. We're gonna just get rid of our negative on the battery, protect all of our electronics. All right, so to get started, just reach underneath and push the little tab, lift your positive for the jump start out of the way. You're gonna lift up on this air intake and pull it out to the right. Set that out of the way. I've already taken the needle nose pliers and pushed on these two slots. So you can just pull that off, and there's only one slot on the back side here. And I've taken the flathead screwdriver and loosened this. So you just pull this over to the right and get it out of the way. Lift up on your breather and then bring it straight to you. All right, so now we have exposure to the problem. Let me zoom on this so you can. Now what you see here is the abrasion that has occurred from this being inside the motor mount, and it was located right here. So over the course of several 100,000 miles, this motor has just worn a hole in this fiberglass jacket, and you wouldn't even be able to tear this with your bare hands. It's very strong. Maybe it's nylon, but we're gonna cut this open with our scissors and then cut each wire individually. It looks like I have at least 3 inches there, so we're gonna get rid of about 1.5 inches and then bring these wires together and Scotch lock them. All right, so I'm gonna cut my zip tie off that I put a long time ago, and this has a clip right here, so we're gonna squeeze that and pull it out. All right, so I have cut this loose from up there and also taken the strap out from this hole right here. We've cut this back with the same amount both directions, so our brake should be in here. I'm going to cut back an extra inch each way. These things seem to be color coded pretty well, and I'm sure, almost 100% sure, these are solid wires inside. So we're going to cut these back and splice them and go from there. Looks like we got some thicker cables in the back too. We might leave them alone. We'll see when we get to them. Alright, so I'm using wire strippers to strip this back. The wire's a little bit thicker than I had thought, and I'm stripping it about maybe 1/4 inch. But here's just an example of what we're doing. We're stripping it on both sides and then entering it into this Scotch lock. Indy 500 out here. All right, you don't want to strip too much back, that way you still have some insulation up and inside, but make sure through this clear screen that you can see it's all the way embedded. And then you take your Scotch Locks pliers and you just squeeze, and it won't over squeeze, you know, it'll bottom out, and then that's that. There's also gel inside these Scotch Locks to prevent corrosion. This is used in the telephone industry, inside the pads, and they last indefinitely without issues. And they're using things like this, you know, for decades, so they're proven. Although I'd still want to, you know, weatherproof this a little bit, try to keep some of the dust and wind and dirt out as much as possible anyway. I'm going to keep on going. Okay, so we've done half of this wiring harness here, and I've only done the exterior wires. Everything's running good. I did, however, had one further issue with the wire going to the camshaft positioning sensor, It was the negative. That one still had issues, so I replaced it, got it out of this harness completely, and that's it, problem solved. I'm getting ready to cover this up. I believe I'm going to use some type of weatherproofing tape, something I don't have in stock at home, but we're going to get this wrapped up and secured back down with zip ties. Anyway, if you have any other issues you need help with, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See ya.